The energy at play from January 27th to February 1st, and the year is 2021. We've come out of a year of change and challenges, a year of controversy, a year of craziness, a year of joy, life lessons, reaching inner peace maybe. Just depends how you experienced it, how you look back at it. By the way, let me know if you would be interested in a workshop where we review the past year and we dive deep into what we really have learned from it and to prepare for the new year. This just popped up. Something I intended to do in December, but then it didn't happen. So how this connected? Well, coming week we will get on our path things like codependency, sensitivity, and sacrifice. We all know codependency. We have this in friendships, we have this in partnerships, can be business partnerships, can be love relationships. And it often takes away the freedom. And as you know, freedom is a really important thing for me, so yeah, I'm going to restrain myself and not hammer hard on this one. I just encourage you to take a moment and look at the different kind of relationships that you have and see where you have codependency, where that codependency is actually limiting you, preventing you from radiating, from shining, from expressing your truth. Maybe even pause the video now. Yeah, maybe pause the video now and take a moment for this. Did you? Now what I encourage you to do is to allow yourself to be sensitive. I'm not talking like, this is hurting me, or this feels bad, not that kind of sensitivity. More like the picture. You come across a flower, observe it, smell it, maybe even feel it in your hand, without damaging it, of course. Being sensitive means taking a moment to feel. When you're around people, open your heart. Feel what's really there. What's the energy in the space. How that person feels, how that person is interacting with you. That person is comfortable, that person is afraid, that person is preoccupied by something. If you make choices, or when you make choices, to feel, is this in resonance with the relationship I want to have, not what I have but I really want. And also feel, is this really what I want? And this also brings us to the sacrifice. And you make all this a judgment, it's just my view on it. But if you're gonna start cutting out pieces of yourself because you want to be with that person, or you want that person's love or that person's approval, then you're not being true to yourself anymore. If you cut out pieces from yourself, you're not yourself anymore. You're destroying yourself. And that's false sacrifice. That is just self-destruction. The sacrifice that is meant here is to say this, it's there's a thin line between the sacrifice meant here and the self-destructive one. So the sacrifice is when we are, the one I'm talking about is when we feel what's really needed and doing that without hurting ourselves. Is doing something from unconditional love. When we do something from unconditional love, we cannot harm ourselves. Because when it's from love, there is no cutting yourself. There is no damaging. But that love is not just for the others, it's also for yourself. Sometimes it's out of love for ourselves and the other that we say no. Even though that person is going to be very upset, let's talk about the bigger picture. In the long run, the person will actually learn. So you see sometimes that people keep helping people in such a way that they never learn anything. And of course, there are situations where you need to keep helping people just till that moment that they realize that actually there are some people who really want to help. But this is not the majority. It's a minority of people who really need that kind of constant help. And if you're a parent, then you have been confronted with this many times probably. Because you have that unconditional love for your child. And your child makes mistakes and maybe keeps repeating the mistake. But then there is that thin line between, do you keep helping, or at a certain moment you let that child learn his lesson from that mistake? Because you realize that yeah, he will suffer for a moment, but that's the only way for him or her to learn the lesson. And then that's also sacrifice. That's unconditional love. Because you're sacrificing, the sacrifice that you will see child suffering. But it's not cutting a piece out of yourself. Because you know why you're doing it from love. So this sensitivity that we're talking about, you could also call it awareness and gentleness. Awareness connected with gentleness. Connecting the third eye with the heart. If we're talking about chakras. And acting from there. It's not an easy one. I just listened to Richard Rudd and he said, yeah, maybe you'll have trouble. It's a difficult Jinky 19, or you may never really understand it. But I know if you're watching this, then you will understand it here. You may not understand it here. You may not I'm not giving you a recipe here, like, okay, this is how you're going to do it. No, it's just about connecting from here and here, third eye, to the heart. Then you'll know. So if you had a moment like, that's enough. Then you felt it. And then you know when you will have that right choice in front of you. And you know what to do. And you're like, oh, it's very good, this and that. And you with this, okay, I have that feeling again here. Seeing the bigger picture and feeling here like, okay, this is how it's going to go. And please do not judge yourself. There is no doing it right or wrong here. It's just practicing. We are at school here. Life is school. We are allowed to do things that work out differently. Because even if we make a mistake, we and probably the people involved will benefit from that anyway. Will learn from it. So relax. Be gentle with yourself. As gentle as you are with a beautiful flower. Don't cut that flower, leave it where it is. Nourish it, feed it. Enjoy it. You are that flower, and your life is that flower. People in front of you are those flowers. Let this sink in. Maybe take a moment to meditate, or go have a walk in nature, go into your garden, or just sit in front of the flowers that you have in your own home, or plants. Or maybe sit with your pet. Connect. Just sit in silence, don't move too much. Connect. Put your hand on your pet. Maybe don't really caress or caress only very slowly, but we just lay it still, connect. Train yourself on connecting those two. Please, if you have questions to ask, I will add a link on the basic of the chakras so you can have a look again at what you know, what you may have forgotten. Sometimes just reading it helps you connect the dots. Enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, enjoy your week. See you soon.